Shut up and sit down.
Common Sense, New Hampshire. Live, raw, and unedited. Call 603-217-5400. We want to hear from you. I'm the voice of Common Sense, New Hampshire, the boss lady, Erin D. And now your hosts, Bernie D., Craig Driggers, and Mad Mike.
Time for Common Sense News Sports Headlines. Common Sense New Hampshire News and Sports Headlines brought to you by Perfect Entertainment. Rallies brought awareness to gun violence and school safety. These rallies were held on Saturday in several New Hampshire communities. The student-led March for Our Lives rallies were held in Concord, Keene, Lancaster, Jackson, Nashua, and in Portsmouth. Senators Maggie Hassan and Jean Shaheen and the Nashua Mayor Jim Donchis attended the rally in Nashua. Organizers said roughly 500 people gathered at City Hall after marching from Elm Street Middle School. Parents and lawmakers supported the students' message. The rally in Concord drew the biggest crowd in the state. Organizers estimated there were about 4,000 participants there. And in Portsmouth, they had over 2,500 people. President Trump made his first visit to New Hampshire since the 2016 campaign on Monday, unveiling a plan to combat the opiate epidemic that includes a push for the death penalty for drug dealers and a crackdown on illegal immigrants. Mr. Trump spoke in the state with the nation's third highest rate of deaths from overdoses, where opiates are a potent political issue for Mr. Trump. In a speech at the Manchester Community College, he offered up more a tough talk than he did specifics about his plan or how he would pay for it. The president, however, did say that most of the heroin that comes into the country is coming from our southern border, where he said, quote, where eventually the Democrats will agree with us in building that wall to keep the damn drugs out. That's what he denounced. He also mentioned the state of Massachusetts, where there are sanctuary cities, and he called out Lawrence, Massachusetts for the blame of the opiate crisis here in the Granite State. In sports, the Celtics will be playing Sacramento. Celtics will be playing the Sacramento Kings today in Sacramento. The Bruins will also be playing the Columbus Wild in Columbus. And we also have the New England Revolution. Their season have started as well. They'll be playing Houston at Gillette Stadium on Saturday. We also received word that Chris Sale will be the starting pitcher on opening day in April for the Boston Red Sox. Also, in other news, we also found out that Patrice Bergeron will be playing today after suffering 13 games of not being there, obviously, for having a broken foot. So we want to welcome back Patrice Bergeron with that. More Common Sense coming up with the boys right after this. And welcome back to Common Sense New Hampshire, live, uncut, and edited, as the boss lady says. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. We're finally back. I've been waiting for this day for so long. Thank you.
So I know we missed, St. Patrick's Day. Well, the podcast missed St. Patrick's Day, but I'm glad that we did.
Yeah.
Because
oh my God,
it was just a madhouse.
I'm still drunk.
You know what I mean? A couple things. We want to thank Mixler for hosting our podcast since October, but we're getting bigger and better, and now our new podcast provider is called Spreaker. You can find this on Facebook. It's awesome. We're actually really excited about this because there is a lot of features and benefits that we're going to take advantage of, where everything gets just distributed from our podcast to, ladies and gentlemen, yes, iHeartRadio, And we even have a YouTube channel, gentlemen.
What?
You guys don't even know about
What?
this.
Yeah, this is the first we've heard of a
Oh,
YouTube
we have
channel.
it.
We could start loading some seriously stuff that's going to stop this podcast.
Do I
in its
need to
tracks.
start dressing properly then?
No.
Start dressing properly?
It's an
What do you
Properly.
mean? I was going to say, a Patriot shirt and Patriots
I have a
boxers.
two-piece on right
yeah,
now, so-
Patriots boxers isn't going to cut it anymore.
So
Stop. It
here's
wouldn't be the show.
here's something that you mentioned. Right now, all our audio broadcasts are going on YouTube.
No shit.
However, if you notice, it just said audio.
Yeah.
In the future,
Yeah.
I'm working on the video version
Hells
of Common Sense
yes,
New Hampshire.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay?
That's what I'm talking about.
So
yeah.
we're getting there little by little. Everybody, someone actually messaged me the other day. What's going to happen to the previous Common Sense podcast? We're going to be able to
Archive it?
archive it and bring it to Spreaker. So all the other previous podcasts will
Nice.
still be able to listen
Oh,
to
excellent.
it.
Good.
And
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be
great news.
ported over and stuff like that.
Nice.
So it's kind of cool.
That's
so
fantastic.
once again,
Guess who else is here?
Yeah, Mr. Craig Riggers is
Hi,
here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking with a friend of mine. I just noticed that a good buddy of mine, who is a real estate expert, is
That's
here
my
at
headphones.
McGarvey's. Okay, sorry. I'm messing with headphones right now. Okay, so a buddy of mine who's a real estate expert is here, and there's it's actually in the news right now that if you're somebody who's looking to get into real estate right now, there's a serious dearth. That means a lack of property available.
You say girth?
A dearth. No.
Oh, all right.
If I was talking girth, that would be a completely different segment, Mike, and you know it. And you know it.
I'm just wondering.
Yeah, no, there's a lack of inventory right now, property rates in New Hampshire. This is actually a national story that was just in the news. Property rates in New Hampshire are through the roof for purchasing homes. So my buddy over there is a real estate agent, and I was like, yo, we should do a segment with you coming up maybe next week or whatever else, because he's fucking trash. He's been here forever. he's like maybe next week. I'm like, yeah, definitely not this week, bro. I'm not dropping this on you right now. But so anyway, that's what I was doing. So sorry. Hi, I'm Craig Driggers. I'm a radio guy.
We missed you. I missed you more than Bernie, though.
I know.
I did.
Everybody misses me, buddy.
I
When
do.
I'm not around, everybody
I love
misses
you.
me, Mike. You know, dude.
I love you more than your girlfriend.
And
You probably do.
I do.
so if you
Maybe
guys
not. Maybe not. She
So
is
if
right
you
over
guys-
your shoulder.
Oh,
Sorry, it's all right. So if you guys know, if you guys noticed, we had to redo the intros and everything, and I want to say thank you to the boss lady, Erin
Yes.
D,
Amen.
the voice of Common Sense New Hampshire.
Well
Hi,
Erin,
done.
guys.
We
it
love
took
you.
her. It took her 68 tries to do the intros, but it was all right.
Such a liar.
that was the first time I had sex.
Only
It took me that
68.
time.
Yeah, only 68. You couldn't have tried one more time just to get that number quite right?
It was more like 13.
Let's
Oh,
try
really?
to
Yeah, all right.
change the story.
Lucky
It took her
number.
69 times.
Lucky number 13.
All right.
Well, good job. Good job. No,
Thank
seriously,
you.
though, genuinely
you,
good
thank
job,
you,
Aaron.
thank you.
That intro is the bomb. The bomb. It's really
I
good.
didn't realize how hard it was to do them.
Right. What do you mean? To do what? What are you talking about?
Like when you do intros, like you fuck
Intros,
up one word,
promos.
that's it.
Yeah.
You're
Oh yeah.
retake.
Oh my God, you're preaching to the choir right now, girl. just the other day, I was at the studio and of the radio station, and the program manager, the production director, my good friend Hayes, one of the best guys in the industry, right? He gives me this piece of copy, which is a commercial, and the first part of it they want read all dramatic, right? And for us, like anything that you do dramatically sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds to us.
I agree.
Doesn't sound
it
right.
sounds like a joke, right?
No.
So it's like, so you're like, in a world where, you know what I mean? And so
Don LaFontaine.
right when you do it, but the funny part is when it's finished and it's produced, right? And then there's a point in the copy where you sort of, and it says right in the copy, like, okay, at this point start to hard sell, and so pep it up. And so when you do that, when you're recording it, it sounds stupid as shit. But by the time you're done and it's all produced and it's got music underneath it and sound effects and everything else, it sounds awesome.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
sure.
But no, I totally understand where you're coming from, Aaron, because it's amazing how when I'll read through, and this was a 60-second spot, right? A minute-long commercial. It's amazing how, like, for me, and a lot of radio guys won't do this, if I mess up a piece of copy halfway through, I'll restart it, right? I want it to be one long, full read.
Yep,
Like, I don't want it
I
to be a bunch
agree.
of edits, you know what I
Yep,
mean?
absolutely.
So I want to, like, literally, like, digest the words so that when I say them all together, right? And so it's a little bit strange because a lot of guys out there, and women, when they're reading these kinds of commercials or spots or whatever else, or even a promo, they'll be halfway through, they'll mess it up, and they'll pick it up from there. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I want the thing to be a full, solid read, and
That's
So-
how we were doing it. And
Yeah.
then, Bernie's like, No, you put too much emphasis on this. Nope, you
Right.
paused too long here.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope, you.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, oh,
no,
fuck.
Then you tell Bernie, get the fuck out of the room.
I know. I have the same. I have the same thing though. So like when the first piece of the first time I did this commercial, I'm just using this as an example because I do a lot of them. But Hayes listens to it and he's like, dude, the sales rep wants you to say this like this, or he wants you to pick it up here and act more like this there. You know what I mean? Like that happens. So
And see, that's the thing. It's like it's our intro.
Right.
Whatever. You know what I mean? We don't have
but you
to.
killed it. It sounds so good.
It sounds really good.
Oh
and
my
everything.
God.
But the thing is when you're doing a commercial for like Coke or Bud Light and everything, you make the copy
Or PDS.
and then you
Right.
have to send it to them. They go, yeah, no, it doesn't sound
Right.
right. We need you guys to change this. He's got to do it
a
all
lot
over
of
again.
times,
And
a lot of times at like the at the higher levels, right? You actually will go to a studio. Like they'll tell you, based on where you live. Say you live in Boston or near Boston, they'll pick a studio where they want you to go to record the commercial, and there will be like a director
Yep.
or a producer or something there, and they will tell you just like Aaron was saying. They'll tell you like, good. Okay, that was a good read. Do it like that, but emphasize this word,
Right.
or don't throw the emphasis on this syllable. Like,
Right.
and so it can take like a 30-second commercial, like a national spot, like a national
Exactly.
30-second, like an XM or Sirius kind of thing, can take a couple of hours to just for the person that's reading it to read it.
for that 60-second spot.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep, it's true.
Yep. And don't forget the rep of the product has got to be there too. Go, yeah, it doesn't sound right. No,
Right.
no, we want you to,
Right, and that's true. Yeah, and that can happen too. Where even after 4 or 5 hours of producing something, it goes to the national sales rep, and they're like, yeah, no, where they said I want them to be like the. You know, I mean that happens, man. But that's how it is. But seriously though, that sounded so fantastic, Aaron. You guys, you guys are just the best.
Once again, if you're listening to Common Sense New Hampshire, live from McGarvey's. Phone number, 603-217-5400. Let me try that again, 603-217-5400. All our social media apps are up. If you guys want to tweet us, you guys want to Facebook us, what else do we got? We got Instagram, we got YouTube now. I mean, we got everything now. So, I mean, it was a lot of prep work for the last 2 weeks and everything, but we're excited. Spreaker, again, our podcast provider, and we're excited about that too.
Fantastic.
We also don't want to forget about Skype as well, providing our phone number. Awesome number, 603-217-5400 too. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we had to redo the McGarvey's commercial as well, and it sounds even better, which we'll be playing
can't
later
wait to
on
hear
in the
everything.
Yeah, buddy.
commercial break.
Right? I know.
forward to it.
It's awesome, man.
It's like we're opening new presents.
Yeah. It's like a
exactly
new baby.
what it
It's like a
is.
new baby. It's like.
But I'm gonna miss that Trigger the
I know,
Driggers intro.
I know.
That's a phone ring. I'm telling you,
Copyright.
we could have friggin'
Yeah, for
made that a
copyright reasons,
ringtone.
we had to change it, but oh man,
I
that was
will-
so good.
I will give it to you guys, though. I'll pass it on.
Yeah,
I'll send it
please
to you
do.
guys.
Obviously, you
please.
still have it, man. But yeah, no, it's awesome.
That's memories
Yeah.
right there.
No doubt, man.
Every time
Remember
I
when
hear
our
that.
baby was just one. That's what we're gonna. That's just what it's like, man. You know, it's so great.
Baby's born, baby's crawling, baby's walking.
Right.
Next thing you know, the baby's gonna ask us to use the car.
Yeah,
It's
baby's
like,
gonna start asking us
ooh.
for money.
Yeah, exactly. So, a couple of things that we definitely want to mention. Common Sense New Hampshire is brought to you by PDS.
PDS, Precision Delivery Solutions, our brand new sponsor. Thank you, the Polker family.
Yeah.
We love you. We love you. We
Cannot
love
thank
you.
PDS enough.
Yes.
It's a huge support, huge endorsement. We thank you guys very much. Obviously, we're doing something right.
Yes.
And
the word is getting
we
out.
can't-
Slowly
yeah,
but surely,
right.
the word is getting out.
Can't thank them enough. That's a huge thing, and huge thanks to PDS. And anyone else out there that wants to support us and sponsor us, let
Like
us know.
McGarvey's, because without McGarvey's, we'd probably be in somebody's garage right now doing this,
Right.
right?
Exactly. The other thing that I would definitely want to mention is, obviously, we have a sponsor for the show, but we definitely would like to get sponsors for Trigger the Driggers, maybe the first segment, for the first hour.
Sure.
The other things is, and Aaron actually brought up a good point, which we're going to be implementing maybe in the next podcast or whatever. We got Trigger the Driggers. We got turn something negative into positive
Positive, yes.
on that segment. And then Aaron has a great new segment for our show as well. Aaron, I wanted to tell everybody what the new segment is.
There's a lot of testosterone on this show, obviously.
Where?
Testosterone? No, testosterone.
Testosterone. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Okay.
Testosterone.
And you want to add a little estrogen.
And we're going to add a little estrogen to the show.
What's estrogen?
That would be what the females have that the men
Boobs?
don't.
Well,
I
yeah.
have boobs.
Yeah, but you don't have.
Do I have
estrogen.
estrogen?
No, you
No.
don't have estrogen.
You don't have estrogen.
I hope, hopefully not. If not, this next segment was going to be great for you when we implement it. We're actually going to have something called the Ladies' Room. Okay, in that segment there, it's going to be all about women's issues and reviews and stuff like this.